My name is Marilee Shanor. I'm 72 years old, and this is my Monday memory. When I was in college, I think it was when I was a freshman in college, my dad went to work in a fish cannery in the warehouse up in Kenai, Alaska, and he took the three of us girls along with him. They drove up the Alcan Highway. I was in a wedding, so I flew up later. And we were there for all summer. My sisters and I worked in the cannery on the fish line, so we got ourselves all decked out. There was a lot of water flying everywhere and fish guts and stuff. So we had to wear these plastic aprons and net hats, but we also, we three girls bought those yellow slickers that fishermen wear and the big round hats. And we had boots on, and you had to wear rubber gloves because if a fish bone got in your hand, it could swell up and burst, which happened to one of the guys. They'd bring in loads of salmon, the fishermen would, at the dock right there, and unload them. And then we three girls were on the line. And so it was my sister Chris on my right, and my sister Karen was down on a stool on the other side of the conveyor belt. So the fish had come along, a knife or something would cut off their head, not completely, and then they'd come through and this sister would pull out the guts, and I'd separate the egg sacs because the Japanese took those, and then we'd send the guts and everything down the line to my sister, and then it would go over here and this guy would shove it up the machine. Well, it was a really boring job, and we'd work from 7 in the morning till 9:30 at night. We'd sing every camp song we knew just to pass the time. Chris and I would pop out the fish eyes and make a whole pile of them. And then we got a good pile, we'd roll them down to Karen and she'd scream and we'd laugh. And you had to find entertainment. Or there's one kind of salmon, I won't tell you which one because it's the one that we usually eat, but it's full of tapeworms. Not in the meat of the salmon, but there's just lots of tapeworms. So we'd save a whole pile of those and send them down the chute to Karen, and she'd scream. And, it was just like trying to find entertainment. We'd go to work at 7:30, I guess, and then we'd have a break at 9:30, then we'd have lunch, then we'd have a break at 3:30, and then we'd work till dinner, and then we had a break at 9:30. So it was a long day, and you'd get so tired that you could hear your heartbeat. You were just exhausted. After the line ended at 5 o'clock, we three girls would go into another shed where all the egg sacs were, and there was a Japanese crew of guys who had them in brine, and then we'd pack them in the wooden boxes. I think they used them as an aphrodisiac or something like that. That's what they sent them to Japan for. So on the breaks, we had this great cook, and he made homemade cinnamon rolls every day. And so at break time, we'd go out all covered with slime and stuff. And anyway, we'd go out and we'd have a cinnamon roll, hot chocolate, and then at night, whatever was left over from the day. And my sister and I, middle sister and I, each put on 10 pounds that first summer just from cinnamon rolls and cookies from the company store. And then at 9:30 at night, when we all got off, sometimes the Filipino crew, because there were people from all over the place, Filipino crew would cook a salmon and invite us to come eat it with them. So it was just an amazing summer. My sister and I had flown in on a little two-seater. We went back the second summer, just my middle sister and I. She was in college by then, so we were both in college. We flew in on this little two-seater plane, but we brought so much stuff with us that they had to go back for our trunk because we knew we were going to be there a long time. But it was so much fun. The first year, there were a whole bunch of strange hippie-type people. The second summer, there were a whole bunch of guys from USC. So there were only three of us girls in the whole camp. So that was really fun. It was such a great experience, but Alaska is you really get the feeling that's the last frontier. And so when I left that second time, I cried because I thought I'd never go back. And then 30 years later, I did go back on a mission trip. And that's my Monday memory. Ta-da!